Sadness, sad days, pray for me. Hi, this is Stold, welcome. And today we're gonna play some fun with some fun guys. The joke that everyone makes with the fungus. Still funny though. Yeah, so we made this deck around the Micro Tyrant. It's a one colorless, one black, one green, and it has trample. It's a legendary Elder Fungus, and its power toughness equal to the number of creatures you control that are fungi or sapperlings. And then at the beginning of your end step, you create X 1/1 fungus tokens for each time you descend it. And descended is when you get a permanent is put into your graveyard from anywhere, either your hand, from the top of your library, or from the battlefield. But it needs to be a permanent card, not a sorcery instant. Um, yeah, I don't think that's a good question. I guess we do have a couple. We only have a few instance spells. Everything else is, I guess I have that too. Everything else is a permanent. So we have a lot of permanents in our grid, and then lands are also permanents. So we're gonna, do some milling of ourselves. We're gonna, since we're gonna mill ourselves, I threw in a couple Lugurfs. I threw in the Dead Bonnet Sprout, which mills once, at the start of your turn, and then eventually becomes a 3/3 if there's 3 or more creatures in your graveyard. Lugurf, you could kick it to mill 3 cards, and then if you kick it a second time, you'll mill 6, which, getting the blue one is going to be kind of a little bit hard. We just had the Gra 2, and, yeah, I guess you could name Lugurf with that. But we don't really have any access to blue otherwise besides that, or the treasure tokens from the Collector's Vault. So most likely that's just going to be a 3 mil. I got one copy of the teachings in here just for some graveyard hate. So once it transforms into the touched Orochi, so you can, when it attacks, you can exile a creature card or something. I don't know if it's necessary, but we put that in there. And then we have the, let's see, I don't know if there's any other mill cards specifically. So the Collector's Vault is a way to get descended. So you can discard a permanent card from your hand. That's a way to descend. I guess that's another sorcery. And then when you explore, you can descend if you explore, because you can put the grid card, you look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, you put it in your hand. If not, you could either keep the card on top of your library, or you could put it in the discard, and so you could put it in your graveyard, and so you could explore that way. And we have 2 copies of the Jade Splunker, and so that explores X times, and it's a 1/1. So you have a possibility to get a nice big explore on with that. And then, since we're going to descend, I have 2 copies of the Blood Brood Rage Microid, 3 and 1 black for a 4/3, and then at the beginning of your end step, if you descended, you create a 1/1 fungus. So that's, it's a fungus. Everything, lots of things are fungus. We have, this one and this one is a merfolk, but everything else, and the lure growth, I guess, doesn't count. But that's a fungus. This makes a spirit token. Oh yeah, so that doesn't help at all. There's a fungus. Yeah, so whenever you descend, you create another fungus, so that helps to grow the Micro Tyrant. And then I have Namita Primeval Warden, 2, 1 black and 1 green, 3/4, and has reach. And if a creature dies an opponent controls would die, exile it instead, and when you do, you create a sapperling token, which helps to grow the Micro Tyrant. You could sack the sapperling to give this 2 +2/+2 until end of turn, or you could sacrifice 2 to draw a card with 1 colorless, 1 black. Yes, I just have that in there to make sapperlings because that also helps. And to go along with the milling, with the Lugrorf, I have 1 millipede in there. So the millipede is a 2/2 for 4 mana, 4 colorless, 1 green, and when it enters the battlefield, you mill 3 cards and then put +1/+1 counters on it for each creature card in your graveyard. So it's like a Lugorf, but it's permanent and it's a one-time deal. So if you get more creatures in there, it doesn't grow. But if they were to wipe your graveyard, it doesn't get down to 0 like the Lugorf would, or 1. Yeah, and then we just have some other Fungus cards. I got 4 copies of the Deadcap Marionette. Pretty great card, I think. Warrants the 4 copies. It's a 1 colorless, 1 black for a 1/1 with Death Touch. So it's a great blocker, chump blocker. When it enters the battlefield, you may mill 2 cards. So if you don't need to mill, you don't have to, but you can mill. So if you have the Micro Tyrant out, or if you're trying to grow, the Lugorf, most likely we're going to be milling, but it's pretty great to mill, and then a great chump blocker to kill like some big creatures. 2 copies of Cankerbloom just because it's a fungus. It's a 3/2 for 2 mana, and it has the ability to destroy artifacts and enchantments. A lot of those going around, and so just being able to spot remove those things. And we got 1 Kawi, the Seething Tower, 1 for 1 black, 1 green, 3/3. And so if it had descend 4 is if there's 4 permanents in your graveyard, it'll get it +2/+2 and trample, so it'll be a 5/5 trample. And if descend 8, if you have 8 permanents in your graveyard, it'll be a 7/7 trample, and it can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. So 7/7 can only be blocked by 1 creature. Pretty great. And what else? 2 copies of the Skullspore Nexus. So it's 6 mana and 2 green, which you might say this is pretty expensive, but this spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. And whenever 1 or more non-token creatures you control die, create a fungus dinosaur. So you'll make a fungus. And so that's where the synergy comes in, and that's why it's kind of in the thing. So that also, like, your creatures die and then they turn into fungus. And then for its ability, you could pay 2 and tap it to double creature's power until end of turn. It's not toughness. A lot of people think it's power and toughness. It's only the power. But when the creature dies, its power and toughness is equal to its power. So that's where I think some of the confusion is coming in for this card. But as we see it more and more, pretty much cast it for 2. If you have a nice big Lugorf out, or a Millipede, or your Micro Tyrants up. Even so, if you have, the Warden out, that's -3, so it costs you 5. This already cost me 4 to cast it, so you at least have 4 mana unless you cast it with treasures. So, you just get 1 more land and you can cast that out. What else? I got 1 Invasion of Ikoria. I saw this card, it looks really great. So when it enters the battlefield, search your library or graveyard for a non-human creature card with mana value X or less and put it into battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle. I don't have 2 of them. I don't want to craft it yet. I haven't figured out if it's great. But basically, you cast it for 5, and you can get your Micro Tyrant. Search your library for your Micro Tyrant. You cast it for 2. Search for a Lugorf. Cast it for 1, won't do any. You'll get a Scout. Or maybe you can get the Spelunker. So, 3 mana, you can get yourself a Spelunker. Well, Spelunker's probably not a good idea, because it goes to the battlefield. Yeah, probably don't cast it for 1. You get a Sprout. But probably don't want to cast it for 1. Can't cast it for more than 4. So I just have 1 copy in there. I haven't got to use it yet. I tried to use it. It got countered, in testing. So we'll continue checking it out today as we play some games. Bitter Triumph. 1 mana, 1 black. This is our removal spell. You could, as an additional cost, you either pay 3 life or you destroy target creature. Pretty much this black removal is going to take over the meta. I mean, just being able to discard a card, and if you have stuff, that deals with Descend. So I have a Micro Tyrant that deals with Descend. I discard a card, a permanent card, to the graveyard, like even just a land, and now I just Descend it. And also, I Descend. I descended, so now I get a Fungus. I get a +1 there, and a Fungus. We got 2 Terra Sunders, just because need to be able to exile creatures, exile permanents, destroy artifacts, destroy enchantments. We're playing black and green. You should play Terra Sunder. Only 2 copies. I would love 4, but I just can't squeeze it in. Just like I would love to have more than one of these unsealed in Necropolis. 2 mana, 1 black, instant spell. Each player mills 3 cards, then you return 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. So it's a great way to descend. So you could have the possibility to descend 3 times to make 3 fungus tokens. Also, you mill your opponent, which I don't know if that really matters too much. And then we have 2 Walk with the Ancestors. 4 mana, 1 green, sorcery spell. You return 1 target permanent from your graveyard to your hand, and then you discover 4. So the only thing we wouldn't hit with the Discover is a Nexus, and I guess you wouldn't hit the Millipede, but everything else you would hit with that, so it's not that great. I'm going to figure out a nice deck with Discover soon, but that's the deck. 24 lands, 2.8 average, got a nice, bulb guy, So in unranked, I'm doing pretty good. So now, time to lose. And scrap this video because I don't win any games. We'll see. So far it's been doing good. I think it's undefeated. But, you're due for your first loss against zombies unranked. Zombies is tough deck. We gotta save that for the zombie duper spell, which I think costs 4 mana. We'll get out our seething tower next turn, I think. The one thing about zombies is I don't think they play too much removal. They're just kind of going big and wide, which they're doing a great job of so far. Decidu, another removal spell. I gotta take it out while I can. They have a pump. Gotta kill that while I can. Oh, I'm dead anyway. There you go. Undefeated on ranked. What is this spell? Two mana. I just got destroyed. Just got destroyed by a person that has 2 mana. There it is, folks. First game in ranked, loss. Oh my god. I don't know what to say. The shuffler, man. That's cool. I'll take that. So we got Triumph, we got Terra Sunder. Terra Sunder Exile, so it doesn't help out the Warden. Could be humans. Angels, soldiers. Pia. Orzhov. I think we go with that. So much green. I don't have any mill spells, so we'll just start with this guy. To attack. That seemed good. Let's go with this. They could have a board wipe, but so I probably won't commit any more creatures to the board since I don't have any mill. The fact that they don't have any creatures, that is pretty crazy. Do I have enough lands out? Well, they do have a removal spell, apparently. Wow, I wish you would have picked the other one. I got that in my hand. I was trying out the black deck earlier, which I'm going to make a video for that next. There's that bat where you could exile a card from their hand and the bat takes it. And that would just be really nice just to see.
I am by your side. You will be protected.
Two, three, 1, 2, 3. So I did that because it's my third turn. I'm gonna pay the 3 life. So it doesn't matter what order you did it in, I think.
More can be done.
I guess it does matter. Oh, I didn't descend, that's just an instant spell. I see.
No cost is too great to quell my people's savagery.
I see.
Nothing on Innistrad is free.
I think we just exile Soren. Interesting. Okay. Take the action. Now they could have an Emperor.
Excuse my sudden egress.
It looks like Super Friends. They could have a board wipe. Sunfall would be devastating, which they probably do. Okay, I went for the cheap one. Oh, I messed up. I was supposed to do that on their turn. I guess we'll get rid of this. Lord Growth. I don't like committing so much to the board, but could do better, I think. Well, now the Path of Peril's up for full. mean, I could have attacked with the cottage, but we're just gonna save that.
I'll make the most of the little time I have. Patience. Time is up.
I mean, they still have Liliana. They still have a board wipe. They don't know about the other Terra Sunder.
I'll clean up this mess. I'll handle this one.
Yep. That's why I didn't want to do it earlier. I figured they weren't paying attention to it. I expected more sweepers from them, but I guess I had 2 Path of Perils. 3. I mean, we have so many lands. You gotta keep it. Holding that last time screwed me. Maybe it'll screw me again. Might have to look at the mana base. It seems like we're really short on, like... God, I hate to do it. I would love to hold it longer, but... It's not a permanent either. Maybe I should have just kept it on top. I don't know. I should get that black mana down, though, I guess. We'll get rid of Adeline. I mean, maybe I should have did it on my turn. There's no reason to wait. I shouldn't. They could have protection now. Discard a card. You both did you that? I think I will Bosiju that, but first we'll full out attack. Bosiju is a permanent going to the graveyard. So that'll trigger the Micro Tyrant, push him up. No creatures in the graveyard yet. One, two, three, four. Procedure is a permanent. That's a good attack. That tap land. It's just too late. No! Just a regular. I don't have the mana to do that. Well then, I should have. I don't know what to do. Ah! Screwed up. It doesn't matter. They have 7 on board. I block Adeline. They have 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. It doesn't matter. But screwing up all over the place, you could have, not that it mattered, but I should have saved those Sigil to get back to my, I had one in my hand, so. Alright, let's try to slow down a little bit, think it through. Sure. Scout on turn 1. Don't do anything till turn 4. Alright. Tough decisions. Do I put out him? Or do I put him out? If they have no creatures... I'll take action. There's probably 5 color tracks a deck, so we gotta kill them as fast as possible. That's the fastest way. Human? Not 5 color tracks, Why are you playing this? That's confusing me. What? What is going on? I don't understand what's going on. What are you playing? Is this a Pia deck or some weird token deck? Packle deck? I don't know what's going on. Don't have the mana to do that. Let's put this 0/0 guy out. Oh, I hit 3 creatures off the top. How about that? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 1 more. Power. What was this attack? That's gonna give you 12. Alright, I'll use those as blockers. What is this, man? Another life linker. Just in your hand. I don't understand what this deck is. I guess we'll not block, because what the hell? Legendary creatures you control get +X, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control. Whenever you cast a legendary spell from your hand, exile the top cards of your library until you exile a legendary non-land card with lesser mana value. You may cast that card without paying that mana cost. Put that rest at the bottom of your library in random order. So are you saying you get to cascade into this, into that? So you hit Hanalana and Elena, and then you hit that? Where's the black? Mana. Do I keep it? I hate to get rid of a land, but at least it's not mono red today. Oh, should I have gone with the other one? And there's the land. Mana screwed. I never know what he comes back as. When one more creature is put into graveyard from anywhere, investigate. This ability triggers. If Denic will be put. Investigate, you create a clue token. No, I can't block you. Oh, that was my land! Take action. No attacks. Green? Ooh. It's pretty good. We'll just get rid of that right now. Just waiting on my next land. Ooh. 4 turns without a land. Are you giving them indestructible?
I hope you're ready to lose. Strike fast and strike hard.
Oh, I got another land. Do I take care of the Emperor right now? think so.
Try not to miss me.
I'll be greedy. I think you just put out another marionette, maybe? I don't know. I want to get the micro tyrant out. He doesn't seem to have any removal. No, that's bad. It's real bad. At least I mean I have the death caps. Oh.
New Capenna is starting to feel like home. And I'll defend it.
Now it flies, so or has first strike, or I mean I have to kill it right now, right? I have no other way to do it. Just a casual 7/7? Oh, you can get angels already? And then I can't.
Hyrexia's story infects the mind, becoming unforgettable. You cannot delay our victory.
Oh, thank God.
May your
He
peace
didn't see it.
rest.
I mean, I need to find the land. It's not a land. Oh, it's crazy. The shuffler, what changes they made for the explorer. I don't know what to do. I just block him. I have to block him. You could tap him. This is getting away from me. So many turns missing lands.
You do not write the story. Every story leads to the rise.
This thing is...
Be brave.
And it puts a loyalty counter on it.
This is my city, and I'm going to protect it.
I mean, he just wrapped this game up. I finally got my 4th land. It's pretty good. Let's explore some more. Oh, that's amazing now that the game's over. Thank you, Shuffler. Now that the game is completely over. Alright. I've played this deck enough to say it's not ready for the mainstream. I don't know. Went 1-4. Played crazy decks, crazy Planeswalker decks. I don't know why I drew those. You know, Super Friends decks. Yeah. I don't know. That's a fun guy. Not that fun to play. This has been told, like and subscribe. Sadness, sad days, pray for me.